Hello everyone, Joe from Central Jersey Conrail and Inskill. Want to jump in here, do an update today. It's Thursday, May the 4th. Yeah, as you can see, I got my shirt on. May the 4th be with you today. Wanted to do an update because I realized it's been about 2 months since I did my last update. So let me explain what's been going on. Since I talked to you last, March and April was spent diligently completing the Operation Series. So as you know, the Operation Series video started 2 weeks ago. We got our first video out. All the videos are done shooting. All of the episodes except for one are done editing and they're on the channel. So you can expect those every month. And that's going to be on the second Friday of every month. And so yeah, in between filming all of that, I really didn't get much done. Plus with the family schedule and stuff, there really wasn't all that much railroading time. So that's why I didn't really do an update video, because I wasn't doing any work on the layout. But since we're done filming, the last week and a half, I got in the layout room and I've been getting a lot of those projects done in Sayreville. Actually, yesterday I did a boatload of stuff over there. I got all the roads striped. I got signs up. I redid the crossing. We have crossbucks now. We have a fusee circuit over there, so you can light the fuses before you come across the road on Bordentown Avenue. I put people out. A lot of details and just like a lot of garbage and junk alongside the right-of-way. I even tried my hand at airbrushing some of the ballast. So what I'm talking about is a long time ago when Model Railroad used to do those DVD series. Corey Gravino had done a piece where he was talking about, when your ballast doesn't really look right, it looks too new and fresh to come in here with an airbrush and airbrush it. So I tried that for the very first time. There was a lot of problems with doing it. Despite me turning down the airbrush to the lowest setting I could get, which was 15 pounds, I think it was like 18 pounds or so, I still was blowing stuff everywhere. Loose ballast, loose ground foam. It really made a mess. And the results really, I don't think were really worth the aggravation of cleaning up everything and putting everything back in place. So, but the ballast looks a little better now. But, just that whole process of doing it, I just don't think it was worth it. So when I move on to the next section of detail work, I'm going to try some other techniques to maybe, adjust the ballast and make it look a little more realistic. So just wanted to throw that out there. I'm going to be filming I've already filmed, but I'm going to be creating a video to release on that whole section of all the detail work that I did, and I'll explain it more in depth on the video. The other thing I worked on was, time and time again, I kind of was always getting comments about the silver hose over there in Sayreville. And it was, what's that hose? That looks ugly. I was tired. The problem is it's for the spray booth, but the connection to the outside, the vent that goes outside, is up behind the valance. So it's very difficult to get up in there and, do the connection and unconnect it. So a lot of times I would just connect it and leave it up there. So that's why I was on a lot of the pictures. So the biggest project I worked on was moving that vent. And what I did is I put it through the valance. So I'm going to flip it around. So this is behind the valance work in Sayreville. You could see that's the connection in the ceiling. So what I had to do was extend that, get a pipe and extend it, and then come through the outside. I found these quick disconnects. It's a newer style than the one that's up there, because that one's like an older style from about 10 years ago. But this one's newer, and I kind of like this much better. So what happens is, if I want to connect this, I can do it from the floor, and I can do it one-handed, and it just snaps in, right? So it's right there. So now when I'm done for the day, I want to take some pictures, I can just reach. I don't need a ladder. I don't need to do anything crazy. And there you go. Yeah, so that makes it so much easier, so much quicker, and I don't have to worry about the hose in the way. So, but that took a whole day in its own. Made a mess. I put some plastic down over everything to catch stuff, but it just flew everywhere, and somehow still I managed to get on the layout. So we had to do cleanup on that. So that was another project I did. The other thing was JMRI So I've run into some few issues with JMRI lately, and it's ever since the changeover to the computer. One of the things is that I was getting a LocoNet error on my clock, my fast clock, the Logic Rails fast clock. And I had talked about it in one of the videos. And lo and behold, just the other day, my DT402, my old one that I had sent out to be upgraded to duplexing, it was acting super funky, just wasn't working. So I unplugged it and powered it down. And ever since then, I went back to the brand new one that I have that's not upgraded, the DT402, because I have two of them. The LocoNet error has not come back. So it's actually it's actually my throttle that's doing it. So I guess I'm gonna have to contact Digitrax and see if they can repair it. But I don't know if they're even offering support on the DT402s anymore, since they've come out with all the new controllers. So I was able to clear that up. And then in the interim of doing so, I found out my JMRI, I was using like version 4.12 and they're on like version 5.2. And unfortunately, reading the forums and listening to what the engineers are saying, JMRI, you can't just like jump 10, 15 versions like that. You have to go through each step of the version to build the database, or else it doesn't work. So that was a whole day of upgrading, testing, upgrade, test, all the way up to get me to 5.2. But it still didn't solve the biggest problem I'm having is I cannot open the comprehensive programmer. So consequently, all the locomotives that are in the roster, I can't edit them. I have to delete them and make a new one. And even after deleting and making a new entry for the locomotive, you still can't edit it. So I'm trying to wade through the pages of forums to find out what that's all about. So, but JMRI is up and running on version 5.2. Everything's testing out really good. The only thing left for me to do this is all because of the switch over to the new computer, is I got the Y throttle up and running. I got all the panels up and running, is I just got to go and open my TCP/IP connection and establish it to the computer up in the office so we can do remote monitoring of the layout. So yeah, so that, again, that's where my whole 2 months went, was just these little projects that have been progressing along. And one of the other big projects I had to work on, that it got to a point where the layout had become unorganized with cars and car cards. So that was another 2 to 3 day project, actually. Going through all the bins, readjusting, putting in all the new cars that I had purchased over the last couple of years into the operating scheme, and assigning them car cards and waybills, and just generally finding cars, because I had about 10 cars that kind of just got, I don't know, either waybills got misplaced and they had no data on them, or I had a car card and I couldn't find the car and find out it's in some random bin that I filed in incorrectly. So I had to go through and do that. It just was driving me bananas. I couldn't find stuff. So that was another 3 day project. So those are the projects that I've been working on over the last 2 months. So even though I'm not doing updates and I really haven't put out a video like I said I was going to, that's why. So now, what are we going to be doing? So right now I'm working on the video, finishing up the video for Sayreville. That's going to be like detail work, and it's going to be not a long video, I'll be honest with you. It's probably going to end up being short. It's going to be a lot of me talking, explaining what I did. Then I'm going to move over and keeping the theme of this detail work, because I painted all these details and cars, and I got all the people and stuff. I'm just going to keep going with the momentum. Next week, I'm going to move over to the engine house in South Amboy and the yard. We'll do that as one video. Then I'm going to run over to Jamesburg and do all the because I'm tired of looking at Jamesburg with no people. It looks, they're so barren. Get all that detail work done in Jamesburg. And that should be another week. So 2 weeks to get those 2 videos, all that work done and those 2 videos shot. Then I'm going to get over and start building the Fast Tracks turnouts. I still haven't ordered my number 6 straight kit because money's an issue right now. So I'm saving up my pennies, but I'm just going to go ahead and start building the curved turnouts. I'll produce a video on the curved turnouts. And I want to get the number 6 straight, so we'll do that, and I'll do a video on that. So producing a lot of videos, so you can expect more regular videos again on the layout update. It was just this last 2 months kind of got away from me. And then get cracking on that main line down on the south end. So that's where we're headed. Actually, and then car shop videos. We had the last car shop video that came out was the weathering of the cars. And then I haven't had a video I didn't have one for last month. So looking around the layout, I've found there's more car projects that I need to do. So I have a few of them lined up. I just got to get some supplies, mostly decals, and we'll get cranking making those videos again. Plus that special project that I wanted to do. And so once I get the layout, the track work under control, then I'll start filming those videos again. And then once all that's done, we can start with scenery on the south end and really cranking to try and get this done by the end of the year. So that's what you expect to see. So the last topic I just want to throw out there before I'll go take you over and show you some of the work that we did in Sayreville and show you the difference. The last topic I just wanted to throw out there and see how everybody feels, get your opinions, is I'm thinking about backdating the layout. Right now we generally stick to the 1988 time frame. I'm thinking about backdating it to 83, 84. And the reason is because I've been watching a lot of the Bednar's Rare series, and I really like the rainbow years plus the caboose. I'm really starting to like the idea of the caboose. Even though it's an extra car, you got to shuffle around. But when you think about it, when you watch some of my operations videos where I use the cars that have the end of train device on them, you're shuffling those around just like a caboose anyway. So I think the cabooses that Conrail were using in 83 and 84, it's going to add a lot of visual interest to the layout. That's why I'm kind of thinking about doing it. Plus, it allows me to start using more of the rainbow paint schemes, because looking at the evidence in the Bednar series is up until 84, there was still rainbow patch outs running around on Conrail. So really thinking about doing that. However, that would... and it also opens up more on the locomotive roster, allowing me to use more of the U23Bs, more of the U25Bs, the GP35s, those units that Conrail was kind of like, we're going to get rid of, but then they start getting rid of them, and they're like, oh wait, we need more locomotives, so they would bring them out of storage. So it opens it up more. Also, it allows the use of some Alcos that were still floating around, like the C424s and the C630s. So, yeah, I'm kind of think I'm going to backdate it. Give me your opinion. I want to hear some more. Tell me, should I or shouldn't I? I'm kind of on the fence. I'm 50-50. If I do decide to do this, that would open up a whole nother, a whole bunch more work that I have to do. I have to acquire a bunch more cabooses, because every single movement would have to have one. And, there's only so many in scale that are available in Conrail. So I'd have to be doing a lot of renumbering and a lot of stripping and repainting, because a lot of them are done in Conrail quality. So, yeah, give me your thoughts. I want to see what everybody thinks. Okay, so here is Sayreville. And let me just take you a brief, quick tour, because I don't want to spoil too much for the video. The biggest thing here is going to be this road, Bordentown Avenue. I was able to put the cross bucks in. I got the Fuse circuit wired in and installed, adding a lot of operational interest and realism. Put in a lot of details. You can see just in this scene right here, you can see all the details. You got a fire hydrant, stop sign, the striping, this sign, the cross bucks. Got a little guy walking over there. Yep, there's now people populating the layout. It's actually pretty nice. It looks much better. I didn't go crazy. Let me explain. I put a call box in here. So this way when crews come and want to enter the main, they can contact dispatch. Control point, I put in a cabinet over there. I also put in a sign. I don't know if you can read it, but it says begin of ABS signals. So I put that in. But yeah, I didn't go crazy with the people. It's just because it's kind of, you gotta realize you're looking at this scene. It's like you take a picture, snapshot. So there may not be hundreds of people out when you take your picture. So I got a guy up there walking down the road. He doesn't know where he's going. He's trying to figure it out. But changed some of the cars around. Put some more trucks out. Biggest thing is that's our new caboose to the layout. It's Blueford Chops, full bay window. It's an N7 class. Really like the full full stripes with all the white steps. It caught my eye, so I was like, I gotta have that one. So you can see I put a lot of debris, just junk. You can see the airbrushing on the ballast. Just debris and junk around there. Big thing was the fencing for MUA. Kind of puts a period on that. You know, there was kind of just where there was no fencing, it kind of was just like, what is that? So now there's a fence, it makes sense. Down here in National Ed, there's a guy out there trying to figure out what he wants to do. Maybe he's having a cigarette. This guy's up there checking the piping. So put some people out and around, you know, a few. They got a guy out there on the loading rack. So, yeah. So just these little details and stuff, it just completes the scene, makes it feel more lived in. Oh, we got these guys over here stacking some pallets. So, yeah. That is the scene, and then I'm going to call this now complete. Yeah, so I'm calling it complete, but, you know, they always say, model railroad's never complete. There's always things you're going to find you want to change or add, and I'm sure there's going to be many. So, yeah, I think that's all I'm going to put out on this update. Yes, that's going to put a wrap on this update. That's pretty much everything I went over that I wanted to go over with you. Caught everybody up to speed, told you what's going on, what's coming out, and what we did. So, thank you, everyone, for all your support and following along. So glad to see that some of my older subscribers and followers are coming back to the channel. I think the channel's really finally rebound from that disastrous year off that I took, which I regretted. But that's a discussion for another day. But I thank you all for your support. I'm glad to see everybody's watching the videos, commenting and liking, and yeah, makes it that much more enjoyable for me. All right, so that's all I have for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.